Story 1. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Clarica. Sammie and Susie Littletail by Howard R. Garis. Story 1. Sammie Littletail in a Trap. Once upon a time there lived in a small house built underneath the ground two curious little folk, with their father, their mother, their uncle, and Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy. Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy was the nurse, hired girl, and cook, all in one, and the reason she had such a funny name was because she was a funny cook. She had long hair, a sharp nose, a very long tail, and the brightest eyes you ever saw. She could stay under water a long time, and was a fine swimmer. In fact, Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy was a big muskrat, and the family she worked for was almost as strange as she was. There was Papa Littletail, Mamma Littletail, Sammie Littletail, Susie Littletail, and Uncle Wiggily Longears. The whole family had very long ears and short tails. Their eyes were rather pink, and their noses used to twinkle, just like the stars on a frosty night. Now you have guessed it. This was a family of bunny rabbits, and they lived in a nice hole which was called a burrow, and which they had dug underground in a big park on the top of a mountain, back of Orange. Not the kind of oranges you eat, you know, but the name of a place, and a very nice place, too. In spite of her strange name and the fact that she was a muskrat, Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy was a very good cook, and quite kind to the children bunnies, Sammie and Susie. Besides looking after them, Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy used to sweep the burrow, make up the beds of leaves and grass, and go to market to get bits of carrot, turnips, or cabbage, which last Sammie and Susie liked better than ice cream. Uncle Wiggily Longears was an elderly rabbit who had the rheumatism, and he could not do much. Sometimes, when Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy was very busy, he would go after the cabbage or turnips for her. Uncle Wiggily Longears was a wise rabbit, and as he had no other home, Papa Littletail let him stay in a warm corner of the burrow. To pay for his board, the little bunny's uncle would give them lessons in how to behave. One day, after he had told them how needful it was to always have two holes, or doors, to your burrow, so that if a dog chased you in one, you could go out of the other, Uncle Wiggily said, "Now, children, I think that is enough for one day, so you may go out and have some fun in the snow." But first Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy looked out of the back door, and then she looked out of the front door to see that there were no dogs or hunters about. Then Sammie and Susie crept out. They had lots of fun, and pretty soon, when they were quite a ways from home, they saw a hole in the ground. In front of it was a nice, juicy cabbage stalk. "Look!" cried Sammie. "Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy must have lost that cabbage on her way home from the store." "That isn't the door to our house," said Susie. "Yes, it is," insisted Sammie, "and I am going to eat the cabbage. I didn't have much breakfast, and I'm hungry." "Be careful," whispered Susie. "Uncle Wiggily Longears wanted us to look on all sides before we ate any cabbage we found." "I don't believe there's any danger," spoke Sammie. "I'm going to eat it." And he went right up to the cabbage stalk. But Sammie did not know that the cabbage stalk was part of a trap, put there to catch criminals, and no sooner had he taken a bite than there came a click, and Sammie felt a terrible pain in his left hind leg. "Oh, Susie!" he cried out. "Oh, Susie! Something has caught me by the leg. Run home, Susie, as fast as you can, and tell Papa." Susie was so frightened that she began to cry. But as she was a brave little rabbit girl, she started off toward the underground house. When she got there, she jumped right down the front door hole and called out, "Oh, Mamma! Oh, Papa! Sammie is caught. He went to bite the cabbage stalk, and he is caught in a horrible trap." "Caught!" exclaimed Uncle Wiggily Longears. "Sammie caught in a trap! That is too bad. We must rescue him at once. Come on." He called to Papa Littletail, and though Uncle Wiggily Longears was quite lame with the rheumatism, he started off with Sammie's papa, and tomorrow night I will tell you how they saved the little boy rabbit. End of Story 1.